So here are some tips to manage your debt so that you don't find yourself in a position where you're stressing about money every month. The first step is to find out your position first. You must always speak to your accountant and find out what's your current assets and your current liabilities. And you should always have enough current assets to cover your current liabilities. If you don't, it's probably not the best idea to get into more debt. Instead, start saving some money and getting on top of your liabilities. You need to have a plan to keep on top of your debt repayments. So this means have strategies to create sales, have strategies to cut down on costs. Also, you want to have your bank account set up properly. If you've got your bank account set up properly, you're able to have an operating bank account, have a bank account for your taxes, have a bank account for your savings, and if you want to, have a bank account for all of your liabilities, such as your machine and vehicle costs and things like that. Next up, you want to make sure that you're saving at the same time. A lot of people focus on paying down debt. I have to get on top of my debt, have to get on top of my debt, but they don't actually put enough cash aside. And what that could mean is, yes, it's great you've paid down your debt, but what happens if things go wrong tomorrow in your business and you don't have enough cash to pay for things like wages or rent or other operating costs? You can find yourself back into debt all over again. So while you're getting on top of your debt, save at the same time. Aim to have a minimum of 3 months of operating costs saved up while you're paying down your debt. Also, check your bank balances daily. You will be incredibly surprised how powerful it is watching your numbers. If you see your bank balance every day, you're less likely to spend money unnecessarily and more likely to try and save that money to get on top of your debts and to build up your cash reserves. Don't get into any more debt while you're trying to get on top of debt as well. Try and stay out of the debt cycle, get on top of everything. And once it's more manageable and the business is able to support more debt, then you can have a conversation with your accountant about whether it's actually financially savvy to do that. Also, understand your financial blueprint. When it comes to your financial blueprint, it actually is the way you consider and treat money. And this is based on your experiences all the way through your childhood and young adolescent years, and also the people who you look up to, how they treat and respect money as well. If you've got a poor financial blueprint, chances are, even if you do get on top of your debt currently, your financial blueprint's going to drag you back down into more debt. So do the work that you need to do to work on your own financial blueprint so that you can actually lift what's called the financial ceiling, which means the amount of money that you feel comfortable with having as savings in your bank account before you get into more debt. When you've got a poor financial blueprint, that ceiling's quite low. In other words, you don't care that you've got much cash in the bank, you've got debt to back it up. But when you have a great financial blueprint, you want to see that cash ceiling keep going up and up and up before you feel comfortable getting into debt. Lastly, keep on top of your diet. I know that sounds crazy, but your diet and your exercise regime, if you don't have a very good one, can deplete your serotonin levels. And when you have low serotonin, that's when you go looking for the dopamine hits of purchasing things, getting into more debt, racking up credit card bills, going shopping, things like that. So it's actually more important to keep on top of your food and your exercise regime than we think.